Okay, good afternoon. So we stopped at exercise 11.3, correct? Yes, okay, let me just open the textbook. So 11.3, what did you have to do out of exercise 11.3? Odd numbers, okay. And which page is 11.3 on? Sorry? 374. Any problems with the odd numbers that you had in exercise 11.3? Okay, what was the issue? Sorry? Number 9. Anything other than number 9? 3 and 5. 3, 5 and 9. So your homework is going to be the even numbers. Three, 5 and 9. Okay, this is out of exercise 11.3. Okay, number 3, we are told that 8,500 Rand is invested at 11% per annum compounded monthly. Let's calculate the accumulated amount at the end of 21 years. Who asked for this question? What did you do?
My P is 8,500.
So your first formula A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n. Right? So you see 8,500 into
1 plus 0.11.
Yes?
21.
There's a mistake. It's divided by 12 to the exponent 12 times 21. It was compounded quarterly. Will be 0.11 over 4 to the exponent 4 times 21. It was compounded daily. It would have been 0.11 divided by 365 to the exponent 365 times 21. It was compounded semi-annually. Or that's 0.11 divided by 12 to the exponent 2 times 21. Understand? So work this out. Let's see what we get. 8,500 into 1 plus 0.11 over 12 to the exponent 12 times 21. You an answer of 84,736,20. Okay, you okay with that? No problem. So get question 5. 8,000 Rand is deposited into a savings account for 8 years. What's your formula here? A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent n. Right, who asked for this question? Right, do your substitution.
8,000
Yes?
into 1 plus 0.15.
0.15, yes?
Divided by 182.5.
Divided by
182.5.
182.5. What?
Let's say half year.
How many halves are there in 1 year? 2. So I must divide this by 2 to the exponent 2 times n, which is 8. You see the difference? Remember, if it's compounded monthly, there's 12 months in the year. That's why I divided I by 12. We divide, if it's compounded quarterly, I divide it, there's 4 quarters in the year. That's why I divide your I by 4. 4 equal parts. You understand? Which now gives us, let's work this out, 8,000 into 1 plus 0, 115 over 2 to the exponent, 2 times 8. 25,446, 25,446, comma, 3635. Okay, all okay with that? Any confusion? No? Number 9. Dan deposits 18,600 into a savings account at the bank. The interest rate is 7.25% per annum compounded quarterly for the first 3 years. The interest rate then increased to 8.5% per annum compounded monthly for the next 4 years. Let's calculate the total amount saved at the end of 3 years. So, if you look at the timeline here for what's happening here, remember, we have dealt with timelines in grade 10. Okay? Your initial time, what happens initially? Deposits, 18,600. The interest rate is 7.5% per annum compounded quarterly for the first 3 years. So that takes us to T3. It's compounded quarterly, so it's 7.25 compound quarterly, so it's 1/4 for the first 3 years. The interest rate then increased to 8.5% compound monthly for the next 4 years. So that takes you to where? To T? Seven years. So 8.5%, it's 8.5 compounded monthly, so it's 1/. You guys understand? So the first question is, calculate the total amount in the savings account at the end of 3 years. So that is where they want you to stop for A. Can you see that, people? So you say A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent n. So what's your P value? 18,600 into 1 plus 0.0725 divided by 4 to the exponent. 4 times how many years is that for? 3 years. Let's work that out. Is your 18,600 into 1 plus 0.0725 over 4 to the exponent 4 times 3. So that gives us 23,074 rand. 23,074 rand and 17 cents. That's the amount in the account at that point. Did you see that, people? Then what happens? If we either want to know how much is in the account at the end of 7 years now. So what happens is, this is the principal amount. That is the amount that's lying at that point. You all understand that, no? It's the amount lying at that point. So again, use the same formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent n. Don't have to write it again. So it's going to be 23,074 and 17 cents into 1 plus 0.085 over 12, because it's compounded monthly, to the exponent 12 times. How many years is that for? 4 years. So that's going to give us the answer, remember answer, it's the last answer calculated on the calculator. So answer into 1 plus 0, 0.85 over 12 to the exponent, 12 times 4. Gives you a total of 32,000. 32,379 rand and 18 cents. Okay, any confusion there, people? What was the confusion here? Who asked for this question? Yes, so where did you go wrong? Because of A. But your steps is in the way. Okay. Watch out for the compounding quarterly. Must be divided by 4. Any other confusion at this point? No. Okay, as I indicated, your homework is going to be 11.3, the even numbers. You'll be going to exercise 11.4 as well for homework. So why didn't you tell me I gave you so little homework? You did the revision exercise of the previous. Oh, 11.2. Was there any issues in 11.2? Sorry? Number 6. So why did you give me 11.3 first? Oh, I see. My fault. 11.2 number 6. Any issues other than 11.2 number 6? 3 and 6. Anything else? But 3 is not even. Did I say even numbers? The whole exercise. Nice. Right, so number 3, this is exercise 11.2 number. This on page. It would be nice if somebody know which page you're going. On page 371. No? So we are told that 70,000 rand is invested for 5 years. Calculate the compound interest rate that will double the investment. So which value is this? That's your P value. So what would your A value be if it's been doubled? 140,000. Compound interest. So what does that mean? Compound formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent. 5 years. What is that? Your N value. What are we trying to calculate? I. Not so. So what's your A value? 140,000 equals P 70,000 into 1 plus I to the exponent. If we had seen it tripled in value, treble, that would have been 21,000 for your A. Not so. Quadruple was 4 times, and so on. You guys understand? Okay. So what do I do first? Divide by 70,000. So what do I get? 2. Now what do I do? Sorry? Divided by 5. What? The fifth root. Yes, absolutely. Take the fifth root of 2. So I get 1 plus I equals the fifth root of 2. I could have written that in decimal form if you like. No problem with that. What do I do thereafter? What do you do after that, people? Take the 1 over. So it becomes minus 1. So it's the fifth root of 2 minus 1. 0,148. And then what do we do now? Multiply it by 100. Why by 100? Because I want the percent, the R value. So R is 14,87. Any confusion? Any confusion, people? No. Right, let's see. Number 6. In number 6, we are told calculate the compound interest rate. So again, I'm calculating on compounded annually. That will enable a deposit to double every 7 years. Over 7 years. Double over 7 years. What do I do here? They give you a P value. They give you A value. They give you I. Your R, no. They give you N. Yes. But for an amount to double, if I had deposited 100 Rand, what would the double amount be? Yes, well done. And that's what I can use. If you guys had used a million, I can't use a million, eh? You guys are most fortunate. Million. What's the A value going to be? 2 million. Not so. If you chose X, then your A value would have been 2x. Simple. You guys understand? And each one of those would give you exactly the same answer. You guys understand? So what formula do I use? A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent N. What is your A value? 2x equals x into 1 plus I to the exponent 7. You all okay with that? So what do I do first? Divide it by x both sides. So that cancels. So 1 plus I to the 7 equals 2. Now say for argument's sake you used 100 and 200. At this point I would have said 200 divided by 100 would have given you 2. Not so. If you had used a million and 2 million, then I would have said 2 million divided by a million. What's a million divided by a million? 2. Would have given you the same answer. So whatever number you chose for P and you double it, you will come to the same answer. You could have used 1 Rand and 2 Rand. You guys understand? So what do I do now? We take the 7th root. Oops. Take the 7th root. Both sides. So what do I get? 1 plus I equals the 7th root of 2. Now what? Now you take the 1 over the equal sign, becomes minus 1. And then what do I do? Times it by 100. So it's going to be the 7th root of 2 minus 1. Then what do? I multiply it by 100. Gives you 10,41%. Okay, any confusion there? Any confusion there, people? Okay. Any other problems with exercise 11.2? Okay, so let's go now to the next part of the next exercise, the next example, sorry. So changing interest rates. So now, we are told that interest rates seldomly stay the same over a long period of time. Okay, it also depends on inflation and many factors into the inflation rate and change into your interest rate. Sorry, yes. Sorry. Which is what? Which topic is that? But we are not busy with this. We'll come back to that. Okay. So, as we said, the interest rate seldomly stays the same, especially over long periods of time. Okay. Any long-term investment will be subjected to interest change at various stages. Okay, so if the economy is doing well, or like now with the pandemic happening, no? So what they did was they dropped the interest rate. Okay, so that people that is paying paying bonds, that is a bit cheaper. Okay, but also not across the board with everybody. So if you had initially bought the house or a property, you have a choice of keeping the rate standard, or if you're going to go with the given interest rate. Okay, normally if you go with the standard interest rate, say for argument's sake the interest rate today is 5%, because not that 5%, say it's 9%. The interest rate is at 9% if you're buying a house. Then you don't know how the market is going to react. So what happens is the interest rate goes up and down. Okay, so if you link your bond to the current interest rate, then as the interest rate climbs, you pay every month a bit more. If the interest rate drops, then you pay every month a bit less. Okay. Whereas if you go with the option of taking a standard interest rate, okay, where it's not connected to the variation on the inflation or whatever, then if it's at 9%, then you will pay a standard rate of 10%. It will always be a bit more because of they don't know how the market is going to react. So to safeguard themselves, they charge you a bit more. So maybe they charge you at 9.5%. Now imagine the interest rate never comes down. Then over 20 years you paid more than everybody else. Not so. Whereas if you have taken that interest rate and it's standard, and you pay 10% over 20 years, and then the market has crashed, or something happened, that the interest rate went to 14% for 2-3 years, then automatically you had paid less than everybody else. Because your interest, if you take the option of keeping your interest rate standard, then in that case you would have saved. You understand? So it's not clear and it's not clear cut where you will always save or you're always the loser. You understand? So it's just a risk you're taking on your loan. Okay. But now with COVID, was better for us, the homeowners, to have taken your interest rate linked to the prime. They call it prime as it goes up or down. Okay. Whereas the people who took the standard interest rate, remember they at the beginning of when you sign your bond initially, okay, they must give you a choice, but you must not know the pandemic's going to hit. So you said, okay, some people say let's keep it standard. So they're still paying at 9.7%, whereas now the bank is charging 7 or 6.9% interest rate to alleviate the many homeowners that is in this case losing their property or finding difficulty to pay and things like that. Okay, does it make sense? Yes, I'm talking to myself. What is wrong with you guys? You're tired. I can get your first period in the morning, then you're tired. I get your last period of the day, you're still tired. You are always tired. When are you not tired? Never. Right. So, let's look at example 1, and this is on page 375. Bladsy 375. Okay. People, we are told that 14,000 rand, let's keep that in focusing, 14,000 rand is deposited into a savings account for 7 years. So what is 14,000? Your P value. Not so. For savings account for 7 years. So this is your N value. The interest rate for the first 3 years. So the best would be to start slowly drawing timelines. I know you don't need a timeline here, but it's going to be just a bit easier to work with. Okay, so let's use the timeline. Okay, so this is T0. T0 is your initial time, starting time. Alright, so you're starting off with 14,000 rand. Deposit into a savings account for 7 years. So that's going to be T7. The interest for the first 3 years is 8.5%. So that takes me to T3. It's going to be 8.5% per annum compounded quarterly. If it was compounded monthly, I would have put it over 12. Alright, you guys understand? It is then increased to 9.2% per annum compounded monthly. We got 9.2% per annum compounded monthly for the next 4 years. Calculate the total amount in the savings account at the end of 7 years. So what you're going to do is you're going to, there's your variation, not so. So how many A formula are we going to have here? 1, 2 A formula. The compound interest formula. You guys understand? So I'm going to give you a chance to do that calculation quickly.